Shalom. First, I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kapadash. And we're going to get into it with this video here because I had this one article where it was talking about how America or the Western world seems to be heading back to a dark age. Yeah, they are correct. We are heading back to a dark age. But it won't be a wicked dark age like how it was with the Byzantine Empire where Jake was ruling once Rome fell. Once this new Rome falls, the planet is going to be ruled in righteousness. And Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he knows this. He knows that his end is near. He knows that America is collapsing. So he's trying to hurry and go with his move, with his new world order, thinking he could, circumvent the prophecies. Because everybody know, the elite knows once America falls, it's pretty much the whole earth is done for. This is the major stronghold of Esau Edom's power, man, America. The new Basra. So prophecies unfolding. There's nothing to stop it. We so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, we getting ready to rule next. The elect is going to reign in first. And the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, y'all going to have to come back to the loins of the elect. It's just that simple. But let's get some precepts, because I had a news article. It was pretty lengthy too. It was good. I tried to go back in my history and find it. I could not find it, man. It was a good article talking about the crumbling of Rome, the new Rome, America. And they see that, they saying in so many ways that the so-called Negroes are going to rule again, with the helm, being at the helm is Yahweh Shah, a so-called Negro. But what they don't know is that our brothers, the so-called Latinos and so-called Native Americans, are going to be right with us ruling, man. That's the one thing they don't know. But they soon going to find out. So let's get some precepts. There's second address 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, Esau being the so-called white man, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, Jacob being you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are the beginning of it that followeth, of a new age, a new world of righteousness, of never going down, never going into slavery, never being in servitude under these heathens ever again, man. It's a beautiful time, man. It's going to be a beautiful time. Never dying, never getting old, no more health problems, never broke. Just living life the way it's supposed to be lived. We're not living life. This is not living, Jake. We subject to payments under the curses. You go everywhere. These fucking heathens hate you. You have money. It's steadily fleeing. You're like having holes in your pockets. So this is not living. We're soon about to experience life to its fullest. Verse 10. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, Esdras, asked thou not. Well, let's go to verse 8. That's what I really should have started at. Slaki. This second Esdras 6 and 8. And he said unto me from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Because Jacob, that symbolized Jacob, the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. symbolizing Jake. You know, we're the descendants of Israel, of not Israel, of, well, his name got changed to Israel, but of Jacob's. You know, it represent he was going to take Esau down in the end, and that's happening right now. Jacob is pulling Esau down spiritually, man. But eventually, Yahushua is going to come back, because he's out of that same line, and pull down Esau physically, man. You know, he's going to come and save the day. You know, you people are always looking for a hero, a superhero. Well, the Israelites, we have a superhero, and his name is Yahushua. And he's coming to free the captives, the elect, because the 2/3 of the nation Israel, y'all don't want to escape. You want to stay here in Babylon. You know, you want to stay here and watch the so-called Chinese take over. You know, you like being taxed like crazy. You like being ran over, shot in the streets, being last. You know, all that's going away, man. Jacob is about to come up, and Esau is about to go fucking down, bro. Let's go to Daniel 2. Let's go to the book of Daniel 2 and 21. It says, and he changeth the times and the seasons, talking about Yahweh. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. He says, yeah, he changes the times and the seasons. So it's the Most High Yahweh who changes the times and the seasons. You know? Not Esau Edom, the so-called white man. How he got you niggas fooled, thinking that he's the time changer. You know how he likes to set the time forward and backwards and all that. Trying to be like the Most High. But he can't really do it, man. You know, he can't adjust the sun and the moon, you know, that which determines a day. But this devil tries, man. So it's the Most High that can only do it. It says he removeth kings and setteth up kings. So yeah, the Most High set up kings throughout history. You know, fast forward today, presidents and prime ministers, all to do the will and the bidding of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, to fulfill his will, to make prophecy come to pass. He says he giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. So the Most High is in control of everything. You know, 1 Samuel 2 and 6 tells you that. He kills, he make alive, he does it all. You know what I'm saying? And even the scriptures say, it's nothing for the Most High to make you rich. It's nothing for him to do it. You know, so the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is in full control of everything on the planet, in the heavens, everything in the universe he created. He's in control of it. Even Esau Edom, the so-called white man that you niggas worship. You know? He's in control of him. Let's go to the book of Job 14 and 15. That's like at Job 14 and 5. It says, saying his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, but thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Yes, the Most High has appointed bounds and limits that Esau Edom can't pass. It's only so far in space he can go. It's only so far how deep he can go in the ocean. You know? And he has a an expiration date on his rulership for once and for all. And he's fastly approaching it. You know, he's been having a good run since the Greeks. You know, he was the Greeks, he's the Romans. You know, he came out at Renaissance period. And now we in this you know, now he's an American, he's a German, he's a, you know, he's Portuguese, he's all these Australian, but he's the base. When you boil it all down and get rid of all these bywords that he's giving himself, he's a damn Edomite, you know, calling himself Israeli. But the Most High Yahweh Shemel has set up a limit on this damn devil that he's not going to be able to pass, and his rulership is going to expire, and the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to rule, man. Going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shah on the earth, ruling. So you can say that we're going back to a dark age, but this time it's going to be in righteousness, you know? And our kingdom would never come down. It would never be attacked, ransacked, like they did the temple in Jerusalem in 70 AD when they ransacked the temple. A heathen's never gonna do that again, man. Never. You know? And like the scriptures say, no one's gonna make us afraid, man, in the kingdom of heaven. No fucking nation is gonna rise up against the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know? Yahweh Shemel Shah is gonna give us, you know, this, you know, once we already in the kingdom, we already gonna have the spiritual powers, you know, and we're gonna rule with 2 iron fists over the other nations. You know, giving you the law, setting order, and breaking your damn neck and your back. You get out of control, man. So prepare for this new age that's coming upon us, man. The age of righteousness. And no more fucking dirty, slimy Esau lurking around, causing mischief, man. You know, no more. Just a period of happiness for the Israelites and 1,000 years of straight being miserable, agony, and pain for the heathens, man. But you know, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Before I get out of here, I'm gonna give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, Shalom.